against 3 people who were all then elected officials. I had never been, I come from the private sector, I'd never been elected, and I was able to win in spite of. But then once you're in, then people start trying to target you, you know, and then you, of course there's history because of the things that occur, and people will not only target you, but then they'll actually create things. What I have found is, I don't care how well you do, people will then create lies, create things to try to trip you up. So it's not good enough for you to just do a good job. You have to also deal with the things that are going to be created on you. So what you have to do is just continue to do a good job and make sure that you're doing everything right, and all those things that they create, then you're able to combat because you know you haven't done anything wrong. So it's difficult. Some of these offices, like automatic offices, is very difficult to get elected to because you have what? Sometimes only about 1,300 people that vote in the whole ward. You know, no, if you only have 1,300 people to vote in the whole ward, you only need 130 petition signatures next time. Most of these aldermen only need about 300 signatures to get on the last election. Yes. So, but it's difficult because that means that whoever the most organized is and have a little money and have the name recognition, they usually skate through, and so that's usually the incumbent. You know, unless they get targeted by the union or something, and that union gives one person some money enough to get out there to get to people. So it's difficult most of the time to get a new automatic office. The county-wide is difficult because we're dealing with the whole county. I think the city election is harder than county though, because in the city you have a lot of interest groups, a lot more interest groups, and people attack you, you know, more even in the city than county-wide. So it's a difficult thing, don't get me wrong. It's difficult to get elected. It's difficult to stay elected as well. In this environment, I'm going to tell you all these different things that are happening. The internet is wonderful. I love it, but people are abusing it. People are abusing it, and they are, like I went out the other day, I'm not going to say who it is, but there's somebody running for office right now. They have actually created a negative entire web page on him. And when you search his name, this web page comes up first. So you go to that negative web page, and people think what's on the internet is true. And people think that these are legitimate media companies, you know. And I don't know why, but people think that what's in the newspaper is true. And most of the time, 90% of it is not true. It's just conjecture. And unfortunately, and hopefully you guys are not, don't do this, but sometimes media people will just let anybody tell them anything on you and write it without researching it or anything. So it's a difficult thing, but you can't be discouraged. You have to do it. If you have it in your heart to really help people, and that's why I got in this business in the first place. If you have it in your heart to really help people, to really make change, then you need to run for public office.